2 in stalking and still hunting, and we're also looking at Romans chapter 1 verse 20, a really powerful scripture, and it talks about how God has revealed himself in the world of creation, so that it's he's revealed his divine nature and his power. It says that in Romans chapter 1 verse 20, his eternal power. So let's talk about that for a minute. In creation, we see the power of God. We see that he's formed the world. He's created the trees and the plants and the animals, and we can look at his power as revealed in nature. If you've ever stayed out in the bush during a thunderstorm or a snowstorm, you've seen the power of God. I mean, it's awesome, and that ought to speak to us in such a way down in our hearts that we know that God is alive and God is real. And that's what he says here, that he's made it plain to every human being on the face of the planet that there is a God. It's plain for anybody who's ever spent any time in the world of creation that there is a God. And that not only that there's a God, but the God of the Bible as described in the Bible. Because in creation we begin to see and understand. But this is the problem. In our world, guys, people are cut off from the world of creation. And we're encapsulated in our homes, air conditioning, heat, and all these false things. And we don't have to walk anywhere anymore. We ride everywhere we go. And so people are insulated and encapsulated in these, artificial environments, and they're cut off from this world. And so we have a whole society of people that don't believe and accept God as creator. All right, they deny his existence. All right, so as we get out in this world, though, and we really open up our senses, we can begin to experience this power, his divine nature, and all these attributes that he reveals to us through the world of creation. All right, now let's talk some more about awareness, stalking, still hunting, putting all these things together. All right. I said we need to slow down on the last one. We don't need to be hurry. Let's talk about our best weapon is not our rifle that's in our hands. Our best weapon for hunting, stalking and still hunting, and awareness is our eyes. Okay? Our eyes. We need to learn how to see the wildlife we're hunting. Okay? And so we must open up our eyes and begin to look at the world of creation differently. Now, there's two ways to look. You can look with focused vision. You ever heard somebody say, look at me when I'm talking to you. All right? That's focused vision. In other words, I'm looking right at you right now at the camera. That's focused vision. All right? But then there's something called wide angle vision. And that's primarily the way we need to be looking, all right, while we're stalking and in the world of creation. Wide angle vision. All right? If I focus on my fingers, I'm looking. That's focused vision. But if I put my hands out, and you do this exercise, put your hands out to your side and wiggle your fingers. And what you've done is you've opened up your sight to where your wide angle vision. And when I'm in the world of creation, my head is up. I've learned to walk using the fox walk, shorter steps, okay, placing my feet down softly. And now I'm using wide angle vision so that I can not only see here, I can see here also. I can see up. I can see out to my right and my left, and I can catch movement to the right or to the left, or catch a flicker. So I'm looking this way, wide angle vision, but I'm also looking as far out in front of me as I can see. I'm looking off into the distance. And what happens is if I pick up something, a flicker, a movement, then I focus and see what it is. And then I go back to my wide angle vision. Okay, so the key is, guys, is to see the animal before it sees you. Okay? You don't, because, you're hunting the animal all it has to do is run from you. You've got to get settled in, get close enough, get lined up, get your shot, whatever you need to do. So you've got to see that animal first, and therefore you can make your moves on the animal, whatever you need to do, based on you being already knowing the animal's there. All right. So that'll be the second video, dealing with our eyes. We want our best weapon. All right. And not only while we're on this subject of looking, we want to look. All right, with wide angle vision, but we also, when we pick something up that looks out of place, we want to focus in and make sure and study that, and especially look into and through thick vegetation. See, our eyes automatically will pick up the open areas. You have to make yourself and train yourself to look into the thickets, because a lot of times your deer are going to bed right in the thickest place. So you've got to make yourself look in there, and you've got to study every inch of the ground. All right? And we'll talk a little more about that. Not only should you look at this level, you should take times where you squat down, especially here in the southeast. If you want to see what a deer sees, then you get down here on the deer's level. A deer's head, most of our deer, 100, 150 pounds is a big deer in Alabama. All right? So they're looking at this level right here for the most part, because they're traveling most of the time, their head's about like this. If you want to see what a deer sees, then you need to get down low, and a lot of times we have to look up under the vegetation. All right, and think about it like this. If you're up high and you see a deer move, all you see is the head moving. If you get down low and look, you see 4 legs moving, and you can pick that up looking underneath the vegetation. So there'll be times when you're stalking, after I show you how to move, that you're going to get down and you're going to look, and I'll talk more about that, about how to get down and when to get down and what to do. But look low, and a lot of times you could see those deer legs move. All right, so that'll be number 2 in this series, and catch back up for number 3.